IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with bread. Did you know that the croissant is not originally from France? And when I learned about this about a month ago, I nearly fell off my chair because what can be more French than that flaky, decadent croissant? So the croissant's origin could be traced back to Austria, a neighboring country of France. And the original form of this bread was called the kifle and was shaped in the form of a crescent or two horns. Then in 1839, an Austrian artillery officer started a Viennese bakery in Paris and started selling these breads. These were a huge hit, and soon many French imitators started selling them and experimenting with them, making them flakier and flakier. So the word croissant is derived from the word crescent because of the shape of the bread. Now, today's podcast is about a habit that served me very well when I started my weight loss journey. You see, one of my weaknesses was that bread basket that was served to us in restaurants. With dinner rolls and breadsticks and crispy lavash slices, I would attack the bread basket, dip it in butter and munch away even before I could decide what to order. Then, when I started to learn about carbohydrates and how they spike our blood sugar, I tried not to eat them. But that bread basket would sit at that table looking pretty, tempting me to just take a bite of that focaccia. One little bite. Can't hurt, can it? 5 minutes later, the bread basket was empty and crumbs were scattered all across my plate. Haven't you noticed this as well? We try and test our willpower by keeping that temptation in front of us. We stare at it and we feel that we are winning the battle. But what we don't realize is that while we are expending our energy to fight that temptation, that bread basket has just to exist. It just has to sit there and do nothing. It is no wonder that we lose this staring contest. And this is when I formed a very simple habit. As soon as the bread basket would come to the table, I would ask the waiter to take it away. If anyone else wanted to eat that bread, I'd request them to take some in their plate and then send the bread basket away. This way, I only had to exercise my willpower just once in saying no. After that no more fighting, the urge, no more wrestling my willpower to finish that bread basket. When I started my no sugar challenge, I did the same thing. In a cafe, they would serve us a pot of sugar along with the coffee that we ordered, or put sugar cubes on the side of the cup. I would immediately, without a second thought, send the sugar away. No more staring contest with that sweetest thing on earth. How can I possibly win that? If that pot of sugar stayed on the table, I'd lose that battle every single time. Once I had formed this habit of instantly removing the temptations, I found it much easier to stick to my food plans. So your super simple habit starts by identifying your weaknesses. Are you a sugar lover? Do you attack the desserts? Is that chocolate what you crave? Then stop trying to use your willpower to overcome these temptations. Instead, just send them away before you have an opportunity to change your mind. Soon this habit will become second nature to you. You will wave that bread basket away even before the server has brought it to your table.
Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well.
Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcasts Network. On Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Kajol, Abbas and Antariksh discuss how a Swiggy delivery agent rode a horse amid heavy rains to drop off an order. We're excited to present our new show, Do What Floats Your Boat with Danish Seth in association with Boat. Danish talks to creators, influencers and notable personalities who pursued their passion against all odds. On the first episode, Danish talks to content creator Ruhi Dosani about how content creation became a part of her identity. Introducing our new show, The Ideas Project, powered by Small Case, a show to help you build a well-rounded investment portfolio. It's hosted by our very own Anupam Gupta. On the first episode, Anupam and veteran brand strategist Ambi Parmeswaran discuss the Tata Group and the investment opportunities they offer. On Paisa Vaisa, Anupam talks to Seema Prem, CEO and co-founder at FIA Global, about the essentiality of financial inclusion across economic strata. On Simplified, the Simplified gang discuss the right to repair movement. On All Things Policy, the Takshashila folk discuss sustainability with regards to policies that govern non-timber forest produce. And on the Life Manifesto, Zarina teaches us how to communicate effectively in our professional lives. Do not forget, IVM Podcast has just launched its merch and the first line is out now. Head to the IVM Podcast website, click on the shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Do follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platform you're listening to. You can also check us out on YouTube. We're also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We would really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Boat Lifestyle, Small Case, Cap Gemini, Intel vPro, and Intel. Future Banao Wonderful with Intel-powered laptops.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.